Hey, welcome to the show. You write the all ages Ultimate Spider-Man comics. How excited are you for this movie? And from an insider point of view, how much do you think it's going to mirror a lot of the stuff that you kind of write about? I mean, you have like Ultimate Spider-Man, and he's kind of this teenager version of Spider-Man, and that's what we're seeing up on screen. So, how much anticipation do you think you're going to see stuff that you've kind of either touched upon or written or your version of Spider-Man up on screen?
Well, it's I was actually an editor at Marvel during the first Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, when that came out. And I actually worked on the film adaptation, the comic.
Oh, cool.
That came out at the time. That was written by Stan Lee and drawn by Alan Davis.
I have it, yep.
So I remember how excited we all were at that point, like when we started seeing some of the early stuff come back. And I remember how exciting it was to go to the theater and see, like, that first Spider-Man movie and just having a blast with the entire staff and, getting to see what at the time, what I thought was like a definitive version of the character up on the screen.
Sure.
So the fact that we've had so many different versions of Spider-Man, the Raimi stuff, the Amazing Spider-Man, and now Spider-Man Homecoming, if you're a Spider-Man fan, it's a great time to be alive because you've had so many different versions of the character to choose from, and cartoons and whatever else. It's pretty amazing to see. No pun intended.
What's your favorite incarnation of Spider-Man?
I was also lucky enough to work on the first Ultimate Spider-Man at Marvel when I was up there, and kind of see the birth of that whole, the rebirth of teenage Peter Parker, and
sure.
Watch Bendis and Bagley do their thing, as it was happening, and that was pretty amazing.
How groundbreaking was that? How groundbreaking was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, how groundbreaking was that Ultimate Spider-Man run from Bendis and Bagley?
It was pretty awesome. It was, at the time, up on staff, people were really, nobody knew if it was going to be a big hit or a total failure. Mm-hmm. We already had a line of Spider-Man comics, and it seemed like, okay, well, we may be just competing with ourselves at this point to put out another line of comic books starring the same. My favorite version of Spider-Man is definitely, teenage sad sack Peter Parker. Where Spider-Man is like, this amazing hero that could do all these incredible things, but, Peter's life always ends up on a down note. He can never have a social life. He can never... It's all the high school problems that we all have magnified by the fact that you're secretly awesome all the time and nobody knows it.
I am secretly awesome and nobody knows it.
Very secret.
Yeah.
So secret, no one knows.
I know. It really,
you don't even know it happens.
No, I really don't.